Alright, so it's Wednesday, June the 17th, 2015, and I'm standing in West Village of New York City, just outside of the hotel where I'm staying. I've got my bicycle here with me, and I've got it rigged up with all of my video recording equipment. So in this video, I'm going to give you a tour of the downtown area, starting from here at the Jane Hotel and ending at the southern tip of Manhattan. Alright, so it's a really nice, warm, sunny day today. No rain in the forecast, which will be a nice change because the last 2 days there is periodic rain on and off. Today is my 4th day of sightseeing in New York City. And we were starting on a street called Horatio. Jane Street is a one-way street that the hotel that I am at is on, but then it dead ends and loops back around, and Horatio goes in the other direction. This is Jane Street right here that we're just passing. And I do find it difficult to navigate around on these downtown streets. Much more difficult than I find it when navigating around the upper part of Manhattan, where all the streets are numbered and meet at 90 degrees, and they all are very logical. Downtown is the same in that it has lots of one-way streets, but the one-ways are much less predictable. This street that we're on is called Washington Street, and it's a one-way that goes in the south direction, which is the direction that we're supposed to be going for this ride. Although we're not going to be on this the whole way. And I will admit I am using Google Maps to help me out a little bit on this ride, because I find it difficult navigating, narrating, and staying safe all at the same time when making these videos. Safety is number one. We're just passing Perry Street. Alright, and we're going to turn left here. Actually, Washington Street turns left here, I guess. So we're still on Washington Street, if that sign is correct. Somehow I think this sign might not be correct. And yes, we are in fact going in the right direction. Yeah, this is West 10th Street. At that last intersection, it looks like somebody had switched the signs around so they were facing the wrong way. So we've already gone 1 kilometer. We've got a red light. So the reason that I'm riding downtown today, or one of the reasons I'm going downtown, is to take a ferry to Staten Island. I've never been to Staten Island before, and they have a free ferry that goes from downtown Manhattan to Staten Island. Staten Island is the 5th borough of New York City. It's part of the same municipality as Manhattan, the Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, all of those. But it's far away and has to be accessed. Well, it doesn't have to be accessed by ferry, but that's probably the fastest way to get there from here. So I decided I would take the free ferry, and the free ferry also goes somewhat close to where the Statue of Liberty is. They do have, they do have their own ferries which go to Liberty Island, so you can see the Statue of Liberty, and I did that the last time that I visited New York City, but I kind of feel like at this point I've been there, done that. Of course, could see myself going back there again at some point in the future, but for this trip I think I'm good. I don't need to go on Liberty Island. Alright, continuing on along West 11th Street. And the next intersection we're going to turn right. Now when I looked on Google Maps to choose directions to get downtown, the first two recommended routes were to take the Hudson River Greenway, the Hudson River, bike path that runs along the river. And I elected not to take those for this ride because I've already filmed the video showing most of the Hudson River Greenway. Alright, so we got a bike lane over here. And I wanted to make a video that was going to be more about showing what it's like to ride downtown through the windy streets of downtown Manhattan. Holy smokes. That was weird. That was really weird. Like I was motioning like he was trying to turn left, and he obviously didn't see me. But this is a one-way street and there's no option to even turn left here. Good thing I was alert enough to stay back and slow down and let him go past. But we'll just wait for this light to turn. So the street that we're on is called Bleecker Street. And there's a Simon and Garfunkel song by that name as well, from their first album. And at the time, when their first album was out, they were kind of in the folk movement, which was kind of growing in New York City. Kind of the rebirth of folk in the early 60s in Greenwich Village, which is where Bleecker Street goes through. So we're just crossing 6th Avenue. 6th Avenue is also known as the Avenue of the Americas. And there's a sign with a bike on it saying this way to the east side. Well, I'm not exactly going to the east side, but we are going a little bit eastward. So I'll say this video is probably, or this ride at least, is going to be slower paced than my video from yesterday, where I was riding out in the suburbs. Certainly lots of traffic lights through this area. So a lot more stops and a lot slower moving traffic, which is not something that I really mind at all. I find it pretty peaceful riding through this area, as long as I know where I'm going on these crazy windy streets. I guess windy isn't really the right word. Discontinuous is more the word I'm looking for. I think we were supposed to turn back there. The last traffic light. I guess I can take this one though. Oh, it's going the wrong way. So I'm supposed to be going right. Oh yeah, no, it goes. Yeah, let's just go this way instead. Street is called LaGuardia Place, and then it changes names, or does it? Yeah, it changes names, and then it's called West Broadway. And the first time I was riding on West Broadway, on my first day of travel, I assumed that West Broadway was the same street as Broadway, because often in the New York, you know, they'll put the direction in front of what a street is. So, you know, West 53rd Street is just 53rd Street on the west side, and then it changes names to be East 53rd Street on the east side. But West Broadway is not just the western part of Broadway. There's a street that runs parallel with Broadway, which is called West Broadway, and it's just a few blocks west of it, so a little bit confusing. I guess we're in SoHo now. I just saw a sign on one of the buildings that said SoHo, which is a district of downtown New York. Don't think this is a bike lane here. This is for parking, but nobody's parked here, so I'll use it to get to the front of this line of traffic. And then we'll merge back in here, follow the sharrows. Don't tell me we missed our turn again. I think we missed our turn again. Alright, well, I'll do a U-turn here. You can try and stay on course. Somehow I haven't got my phone set properly, so it shows me the turns. All it's showing me right now is just the map, so I have to keep repositioning the map so I can see myself and where I'm supposed to be going. Not exactly sure what I pressed to make that happen, but we can deal with it. Spring Street is my next turn. And while we're here, let's look up what the next one after that's going to be. Then I have to get onto Lafayette Street after Spring Street. All right. So if this is your first time watching one of my videos, I'm cjhoyle, and live in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and I make lots of videos, many of them relating to bikes and bike maintenance, and I do a lot of these kind of videos where I ride around and give tours of different areas, lots of them in my home city. But this week I'm visiting Manhattan, so making lots of tours of riding around New York City. It's a very busy street. I think I'm going to walk my bike here. I think it'll be faster than waiting behind a long line of traffic. We're almost at Lafayette Street anyways. And this street has been narrowed down to one lane, so I guess that's why there's so much traffic. Construction going on the left. I'm going to hop back on. And one more street, I'll be on Lafayette, and then I'll turn left. No one's coming, so I'll proceed through. The tight gap in there, I don't know if I've got mirrors on my bike and I don't think I'll fit through there, so I'll just wait patiently. So it should be a really nice weather day today. My plan for the day is, as I said, to go over, take the ferry to Staten Island. And then after that I'll come back and I'll explore a little bit more around downtown. There's a few more things that I have on my list that I want to visit. Sorry about that, I actually made a wrong turn. I was supposed to turn right when I got to Lafayette Street. But from here it should be pretty much straight for quite a distance at least. So as I mentioned, my plan for the day is to take the Staten Island Ferry over to Staten Island and then take it back. And then after that I'm going to come back to downtown Manhattan and explore a little bit more around downtown. There's a few more buildings that I have on my list that I want to see that I haven't seen yet. So I'll do that. And then I'm gonna go back to my hotel room and shower and get changed and put on some nicer clothes. And the reason for that is because tonight I have ticket reservations to see a taping, or the taping, of The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon over at 30 Rockefeller Plaza. 30 Rock, the building. So that should be pretty fun. I looked online to see who the guests are supposed to be for today. So the guests who are supposed to be on the show tonight are two actors. One of them is named Mark Ruffalo. He's been in a lot of action movies. He played the part of the Incredible Hulk in that movie. And the other actor is a guy by the name of Alan Rickman, a British actor who's been in all kinds of different movies, including Harry Potter. And the musical guest is an older fella who's been around for a while, James Taylor. I can't say I'm a huge James Taylor fan, but I certainly respect that he's a big star. So it will be cool to see him, as well as the other two. And, just to be on, see something that's taped for TV is always fun. The last time I was in New York City, I was fortunate enough to see a taping of The Late Show with David Letterman, which for me was a real special experience because I grew up watching that show pretty much every night when I was in the last few years of high school, for sure. To me, that was the late night show to watch. And I would certainly have loved to have been going to and see another taping of him while I'm in New York City this time, but David Letterman is now retired, so it's not possible. A few days ago I rode past the Ed Sullivan Theater where the Late Show with David Letterman was taped every night, and they don't even have the marquee there anymore. They've already taken the sign down that says the name of the show and all of that stuff, because the theater is now going to be used for their predecessor, who's taking over the Late Show. So they're doing a lot of renovations in there to get ready for that. Interesting story was when I was riding past there, I saw that there were some dumpsters sitting just outside of the building. And I thought, wow, wouldn't it be cool if I looked in the dumpsters and I could see, parts of the set from the show. This is kind of reminiscent of an episode of Seinfeld when Kramer finds the whole set for the Merv Griffin show, and he sets it up in his living room and he hosts his own talk show. So I thought, wouldn't it be cool if I could find like a piece of the desk or something? But the dumpsters were just full of mostly electrical stuff and drywall. There was nothing that looked anything like something you'd recognize. It just looked like regular garbage. So needless to say, I didn't take anything from that dumpster. On our left, there's a big fire hall. Has 3 big doors, so it must have 3 different fire trucks that are domiciled out of there. Oh, and we got a bike lane again, but only for a short distance. It turns into a parking lane. So that major street we were going past back there, where we had to wait at the traffic light for a while, that was Canal Street. As you can see, this is certainly more of a slow, relaxing ride. My heart rate's, right now it's only sitting at 100. So really not working very hard. Although it is pretty hot, I'm sweating a fair bit just from the heat. Now, if I was riding around at home in Toronto on a one-way street like this, it's very unlikely that I'd be riding in the left lane like I'm doing right now. But in New York City, that's the lane that they seem to prefer cyclists to use. Often they'll put, if there's a bike lane, they'll often put it over here on the left side. And even if there isn't a bike lane, they'll often put the sharrows on this side. Over there on the left, we're going past the big courthouse. Sign says United States Courthouse. Another one further to the left of it. We're getting pretty close to City Hall, where the beginning of the Brooklyn Bridge is. I've been following signs that are directing me towards the Brooklyn Bridge for cyclists. You know, one of their signs that says, there's a picture of a bike and then it says Brooklyn Bridge and there's an arrow. So they kind of lay out these routes to help you get to, you know, certain landmarks or certain connections. Alright, and there's my green light. Alright, so now this road is going to become a two-way road, so I'm going to move over to the right-hand side because otherwise I'll be riding in the left right beside cars that are coming at me, which is not a preferred spot to be. There's a nice big arched stone building to our left that we're going past. So on the left is where this traffic light up ahead. If you went across there, that would be the walkway or and the bikeway to the Brooklyn Bridge and across over to Brooklyn. And then on our right, there's just a big flat area where there's vendors, hot dog vendors and a waffle vendor. And beyond there is City Hall, which is being restored. The back of it's covered with scaffolding. So this certainly was not the fastest route for getting downtown, as the Google had recommended. Taking the waterfront path, the Hudson River Greenway, would have certainly been faster. But it's not always about going super fast. Not when you're on vacation, at least. So from here, I'm going to get onto Broadway. I got to follow that guy. There's construction on Broadway, so it's going to be a slow ride through there too. got to get over to the right lane. There we go. And this time we're also deviating even from the route that Google recommended, because I want to go down Wall Street, the financial district of Manhattan, because it's a important point of interest and we're going really close to it, so I figure we might as well include it as part of the tour. Just gotta make sure I don't go past it. Liberty Street. Cedar Street. Pine Street. Lots of streets with tree names around here. And there is Wall Street, so we're just gonna shift over to the left lane, make a left. And this is a pedestrianized area, so I'm gonna get off my bike and just walk through. So the big white building on the right there, that's the New York Stock Exchange. Which is not only where lots of money goes through and changes hands, but it's also where lots of tourists come and take pictures of. I think that's probably why they have this fence here, to keep the tourists back.
Basically, what they want you to give suggestions.
The building up there on the left with the statue on it, that's called the Federal Hall, and it's a statue of George Washington. The guy is selling selfie sticks. Certainly seen lots of selfie sticks while I've traveled through New York. I'll just take a swoop over this way and then we'll continue on along Wall Street. There's lots of tourists out enjoying the nice warm weather. Looks like this is a big group of tourists. I'll loop over this way. There's a nice shot of Federal Hall straight ahead of us. And this building coming up here on the left, that's the Trump building it's called. And at one time it was the tallest building in the world, but only for about 2 months or something like that. Number 40 Wall Street is the name of the building. And it was being built at the same time that the Chrysler building was built. And both of the design firms that were designing each of the buildings were striving to be the tallest building in the world. 40 Wall Street was finished first, and they held the title. And then the Chrysler building finished construction and gained the title. Chrysler building didn't hold that title for very long though, because the Empire State Building was built shortly after that, and it was much, much taller than both buildings. And the Empire State Building held their title for a very long time, almost 50 years, I believe. Alright, so we're at the end of the pedestrianized area of Wall Street, so I can hop back on my bike, continue on. This should take me right down to the water. It's a very fancy looking BMW, an i8. I guess I might as well take this street here. It's going more and less in the right direction that I want to go. It's called Water Street that we're on. I guess this is a bike lane. It's not really marked as a bike lane. Maybe just an expanded pedestrian zone. looks like we're just about where we need to get to. Gonna pull over here to this crosswalk and wait for the light to change. There we go. And here we are at the terminal building for the Staten Island Ferry. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed joining me on this tour through downtown Manhattan. Stay tuned to my channel for more videos of me riding around New York City. Leave a comment and let me know what you thought of this video, and thanks for watching.